On this episode of Cape Media News, Silent Spring Institute presents new research in Hyannis on the environmental causes of breast cancer. Housing Assistance Corporation and Love Live Local team up to bring you not one but two amazing holiday events at Barnstable High School, and we take you inside a local community forum to address grief after an overdose death. These stories and more, this is Cape Media News. This is Cape Media News, your local authentic newscast for Cape Cod. I'm Gabrielle Rawson. Thank you for being here. Christmas is less than 2 weeks away, and to celebrate, the Yarmouth Police Department has teamed up with the Yarmouth Department of Animal Care to collect food for pets in need. The fundraiser and food drive was created to raise awareness about the homeless animals and to assist individuals and families facing economic difficulties by providing them with needed resources for their pets. If you'd like to participate, the holiday pet food drive is being held at Yarmouth Police Headquarters at 340 Higgins Crowell Road in West Yarmouth. Donations of pet food, toys, and/or cash can be dropped off anytime, day or night, 24 hours a day through the new year. To learn more, contact Dottie Lavin in the Yarmouth Police Records Division at 508-775-0445, extension 2120. The Cape Cod Commission is accepting public comments now through December 23rd on conceptual improvements identified as part of their Mashpee Rotary corridor study. The Mashpee Rotary is a major transportation throughway that connects Route 28, Route 151, Great Neck Road North and Great Neck Road South, and has been identified as a priority for investigation due to congestion and safety issues. If you'd like to learn more about their proposed safety designs or want to leave a public comment, visit capecodcommission.org/Mashpee Rotary. Since the start of 2019, the Department of Health estimates that there have been more than 1,000 confirmed opioid-related overdose deaths in the state of Massachusetts. To help support those in need of peer grief support, the Massachusetts Bureau of Substance Addiction recently funded a group called SAD-OD, or Support After a Death by Overdose. The group presented an educational film and community forum this week at Cape Cod Community College to raise awareness and to spread hope. Cape Media News reports. When it comes to grief, we've been told there are 5 stages: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. But for those grieving the loss of a loved one after an overdose death, it's much harder to pass through the stages of grief, because unlike deaths caused by illness or natural causes, those dealing with an OD face social stigma and shame.
It really does have a profound effect on bereaved people because people are judgmental about the way their person died. And that makes a lot of difference in how people are treated and in how people feel about their own grief.
We don't have a culture that has grief rituals in it as much as many other cultures in the world do. So now you have a double-edged sword. You have both the fact that Americans don't deal with grief, and you have the stigmatization.
I think that the stigma has been a very large part of people holding back, and it's hard for those that have not been enveloped within this to gather the realization that this is a hard thing to deal with.
It is a really tough situation, and when you add the stigma into it, you really take away that ability for someone to find what they need to find.
To combat these stigmas, a group called SAD-OD was formed. Through a partnership with Learn to Cope and the Cape Cod Community College's Wellness Office, they presented an educational film and community forum to let people know they're not alone.
Well, tonight we're going to have the first community forum in Massachusetts on grief after death from substance use. So it is an event that will bring the public into the conversation about the aftermath of deaths from overdose and other deaths that are related to substance use. And at the heart of it will be a new film from Paraclete Press called Among the Many. and that is basically interviews with experts and with people who are bereaved by a death from substance use that covers that topic in an educational way.
For a variety of different reasons, you're all here. And I thank you all for taking the time to come out, because truthfully, it's all of us who are going to change the stigma around this.
Knowing that we are not alone is one of the most powerful things to help us not just heal, but to get through the hard parts where it really is very painful and sometimes a pretty long slog to start getting on your feet again. And if you're not alone, that makes all the difference in the world.
It's okay to express what you feel, and stigma is something that we're still living with, but we hope that it becomes more eradicated as time goes by.
Change, when you talk about something like stigma, it doesn't occur overnight. It occurs one person at a time. It occurs one event at a time. It occurs by people talking about it. Great quote from the Mr. Rogers movie, and he says that death is normal, and anything normal is mentionable, and anything mentionable is manageable. And so I believe that that's what we're trying to do, is make this manageable.
If you'd like to learn more about SADOD, you can email them at moreinfo@sadod.org. In West Barnstable, for Cape Media News, I'm Gabrielle Rawson. To join the SADOD mailing list or to receive a free copy of their booklet, Surviving the Grief of an Overdose Death, contact them at moreinfo@sadod.org. Up next, Silent Spring Institute presents their newest research in Hyannis.
We were selling our home after 30 years. Amazing how much stuff you can collect in your basement over time. So many things we wanted to keep, but even more we had to part with or throw away. As I was sorting through things, I came across an old glass jar of elemental mercury. I didn't even remember where or why I had it hanging around, but I knew I didn't want to throw it in the trash.
Elemental mercury, mercury-containing items, and other hazardous materials can accumulate when we don't know what to do with them or how to contain them safely. Elemental mercury is a silver liquid. It is many times stored in glass jars and old containers. Here are some simple do's and don'ts when it comes to elemental mercury. Never dump or dispose elemental mercury or items that contain mercury, like old thermometers, barometers, watch batteries, or CFL bulbs, into the trash. If you find elemental mercury in an old container, always call to have someone remove it for you. Do not try to transport elemental mercury to a hazmat collection facility yourself. Always ask if what you are throwing away might contain mercury or be hazardous. Go online or contact your city or town to find out what type of mercury collection program is available to get the right assistance with containment.
Our new living situation will change, but our love and concern for the environment will always be the same. It was easy to take a moment and do the right thing and make a difference.
Silent Spring Institute, an organization dedicated to studying the environmental causes of breast cancer, held a public forum this week to present updates from their ongoing health and prevention science research, as well as new details about the tools they're using to screen chemicals for cancer-causing properties. The community event was held on Wednesday, December 11th at Town Hall in Barnstable. Emily Tulloch reports.
1 in 8 women in the U.S. will develop breast cancer, and 42,000 of them are expected to die from it. Although death rates have decreased over time due to early detection and increased awareness, a 1993 Massachusetts Cancer Registry study showed breast cancer rates are higher on Cape Cod than the rest of Massachusetts. As a result, the Silent Spring Institute, a scientific research organization dedicated to uncovering the environmental causes of breast cancer, formed in hopes to find answers to the startling statistics.
So Silent Spring Institute was founded 25 years ago because of high breast cancer rates on Cape Cod. And activists from the Massachusetts Breast Cancer Coalition wanted to understand what was happening. Why are the rates so high? Why are they high on Cape Cod? Why are they high everywhere? And so they founded a scientific organization that would specifically do research on that question. what causes breast cancer, how do chemicals work, do some chemicals cause breast cancer.
Figuring out what chemicals cause cancer and to what extent has been a hurdle scientists face when researching cancer prevention.
Because it's hard to figure out which chemicals cause cancer or increase cancer risk, there are a lot of chemicals around that we don't know if they do, or we actually have some evidence that they do, but we haven't developed policies to allow us to act on that. So our work right now that I'm talking about, the project I'm talking about today, is to develop a way to test chemicals on cells in a dish and see whether the response of the cells in the dish to the chemical can tell us whether that chemical might be a carcinogen.
Silent Spring Institute has presented Cape residents with several research updates pertaining to PFAS contamination in the local drinking water. This time, residents were also informed of the breast cancer chemical screening study and results.
The study that we did that I'm going to share about today is we compared how the cells in a dish respond to bisphenol A and estradiol, which are both act like estrogen, basically, and PFOA, or PFOA, which is one of the PFAS chemicals. And so we can see that bisphenol A is accelerating cell proliferation and cell division, and that PFOA is doing something different. We don't exactly know what, and we can see that it's affecting genes that are important in mammary gland development. So it's promising, that we can pick apart these clues about the biology by testing cells in a dish.
Silent Spring Institute's Environmental Health and Prevention Update took place on December 11th at Barnstable Town Hall. For more information, visit silentspring.org. In Hyannis, for Cape Media News, I'm Emily Tulloch.
If you'd like to attend the next Silent Spring Institute update or want to learn more about their work, find them online at silentspring.org. Up next, go inside the Love Local Fest Holiday Edition.
Have you noticed? Along Route 28, the seashore, and in villages, historic properties are disappearing. Many are being demolished at an increasingly rapid rate. With and without permission, they're being destroyed. And once lost, they're gone forever. My name is Ellen Briggs, founder and executive director of Protect Our Past, a newly formed not-for-profit organization which has been created to address this question and to examine the consequences of disappearing history. Let's take a look at some historic houses which have been lost. The Kenrick Sparrow House in Orleans, Aquasan Lodge in Chatham. Thankfully, some have been saved. And the Briggs Windmill in Chatham, one we saved. Let's wake people up to what is happening. Start a movement to say, stop, look, and think twice before you decide you need a new home. You can live a cost-efficient modern lifestyle in an historic house, and it doesn't have to cost you an arm and a leg. Protected historic buildings do increase in value, so it pays to save. We need a full-length documentary to expose and examine these truths. Protect Our Past is raising money to have Thomas Benna, director of One Big Home, and his colleagues produce a telling film revealing the reality of disappearing history. We need your help. If you care, please contact me, Ellen, at protectourpast.org. Visit our website, protectourpast.org, or find us on social media. We welcome donations which are needed to pay for our documentary. Thank you in advance for caring about saving historic properties, which have always defined the heritage and character of Cape Cod, our home.
Welcome back to Cape Media News. I'm Gabrielle Rawson. With the holidays right around the corner, many people are choosing to beat the Christmas crowds by shopping online. But did you know that only 13 cents of every dollar you spend online ever makes it back into the local economy? To help strengthen Cape Cod's economy, Love Local held their annual Love Local Holiday Fest, where more than 100 vendors sold goods to shoppers eager to invest in their community. They were joined by the Housing Assistance Corporation, who was holding their 16th annual Telethon for Hope. Emily Tulloch reports.
With the holidays approaching, online shopping has become a staple in many households due to convenience and affordability. But have you ever thought about where that money goes afterward? 67 cents on every dollar stays within the community if you shop locally. For a national chain store, it's only 13 cents and 0 if you shop online. This past weekend, Live Love Local held their annual 2-day Love Local Holiday Edition Festival. The Housing Assistance Corporation also broadcasted their annual Telethon for Hope in collaboration with the Fest. They raised over $52,000 for their services and programs that provide housing stability and homeless prevention. The event provided shoppers the opportunity to support the vital work of the Housing Assistance Corporation and grow the creative economy at the same time. Many local vendors were on site, eager to talk about their handmade goods.
I'm a leather craftsman. My business is called Montclair Leather. Everything is hand-stitched, handmade, hand-cut. I quit all my bartending jobs recently just to do this full-time, so it's pretty interesting.
We are an all-natural, non-toxic, and organic health and beauty company, health, beauty, wellness. We have a lot of skincare, elderberry, bath bombs, things like that. We've been doing Love Live Local Fest for almost 4 years.
I'm Liz Martin, and this is the Cape Coop. We do artisan soaps and beauty products.
Festivals like Love Local are vital for the economy, but they're also a great place for small businesses to network, grow, and thrive.
It's an amazing place. It's a great place to network. I love to meet all the other local makers, and it's really starting to gain a name for itself, so it's really becoming one of my best fairs of the year. It's huge for the local economy. It's great that people can find all these local makers. There's so many talented people on the Cape.
They really pull a lot of people together, and we're all in like the same spot doing the same thing. And I've kind of learned to it's like a nice little community. You show up and say hi to your friends you made last year, and it's nice. It's great.
They just bring everybody together. It is so inspiring. It's such a small community. Everybody knows each other. We get excited to see each other, and it's so nice to support each other, and it's what the Cape needs to keep it thriving. We would not be where we are today without the support of Love Live Local.
Love Local Holiday Edition Fest and the Telethon for Hope was held at Barnstable High School on December 7th. For more information, visit lovelivelocal.com. In Hyannis, for Cape Media News, I'm Emily Tulloch.
Hundreds of people chose to do their Christmas shopping at this year's Love Local Holiday Fest, and the Housing Assistance Corporation was able to raise more than $50,000 for their housing programs. If you'd like to learn more about Love Live Local or the Housing Assistance Corporation, be sure to like and follow them on Facebook. Well, that brings this episode of Cape Media News to a close. Please follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and now Instagram. And thank you so much for watching. Got a news tip? Email them to newstip@capemedia.org. And thank you so much for watching. We'll be back next week with a brand new episode. For Cape Media News, I'm Gabrielle Rawson.